Welcome to your perfect marketing spear in the Passion Product Launch System training. And the perfect marketing spear is a great tool to help increase your conversion rates, to help take cold traffic and convert them into marketing nurture traffic that's in your automated email marketing, drip campaign, or whatever kind of automated follow-up system you have to warm up cold traffic into red hot prospects that want to move forward and become a customer of yours. So without any further delay, let's check this out. What is it? This framework will help you develop a powerful lead generation magnet that will increase opt-ins and leads by up to 300% or more without increasing your ad budget or needing any kind of advanced degree in marketing. Your tip of the spear or lead generation magnet is one of the most powerful tools that can basically change your business and lead generation abilities overnight. It can take a website from bland to outstanding and engaging. It can take an ad funnel from ineffective to highly converting. Why is this important? Basically, in advertising and marketing, the concept of sampling a product or service has been around for hundreds of years. If you give an example, if you go to a market and you sample some food, you sometimes have vendors standing out in front of a restaurant or in front of some kind of a buffet or out in front of a coffee shop, and they'll hand out samples because they know that if they give out a few of the samples, that they'll get a much bigger return for customers. So basically, your spear is kind of like handing out a sample of your solutions so that your prospects can sample your product, solutions, or services to decide if they want to take the next step and become a customer. So your spear, aka also known as your lead magnet, is supposed to be designed to sift and sort people. You don't want everybody to be a customer. You want the right people to be a customer or client. And so you can create any number of marketing spears based off your prosperity plan. So your prosperity plan has several steps or stages to take someone from A to B. In other words, take them from their state of dissatisfaction or less than ideal state to where your plan will take them to a much better state or status once you are finished serving them with your products or solutions. And the spear can solve any one of these small problems along the way. The spear is supposed to fit within the entire prosperity plan so that you can show them that this little piece of value has a much bigger context and that you have a clear roadmap to take them the rest of the journey. So it creates confidence, creates trust, creates clarity, builds relationship, all that stuff in order to advance the sale. So also, when you automate this in a proper nurture funnel, engagement funnel, you can begin to scale this if it converts with a positive ROI. So the idea is to create a few different spears, quickly sample and test them to find out which messages and which solutions that you can provide through your spear or your lead magnet will convert to the highest amount or the most significant portion of your niche so that you can convert more to customers. So where does this exist? The perfect marketing spear is found in the spear module of the analyze phase. It's in the bottom phase to help you go from passion to plan and to take your customers from confusion to clarity. The spear is a very clear sampling and solution for your prospects so that they can kind of taste and see that your solutions are good and they will want to move forward. The right ones will. So it fits in your prosperity plan as the spear fits in our prosperity plan to help you go basically from frustrated or limited or passion to a fully launched passion product launch. So hope that makes sense. That's our plan. So a great marketing spear, also known as a lead generation magnet, will do these things. It will speak directly to your ideal prospect's problem, their challenge, their immediate need. It'll give them one clear, simple solution. It'll build that trust and authority between you and them. So it'll amplify your authority, your trust, that connection so that they will want to move forward. It'll do it in an automated fashion as well so that you can be serving clients while your system is taking care of the sorting and sifting of any leads and any prospects that are being nurtured through your system. It should be in a format that's high in demand, high quality, easy to consume. And it should basically, after you're done, it should cost you next to nothing to deliver this, so it can be done on autopilot. In other words, if you have to pay, or at least the cost of it should be somewhat covered or close to break even, so you can cover the cost of your advertising. In other words, some more technical sales things are lead magnets can be a guide or a book, and they may be more difficult and require more work to create them. But in other words, the more highly technical your product and solution is, the more technical your lead magnet might have to be, the more value you might have to put into it in order to create that very brainy customer or very technical customer, the engineer types, into a buyer. I'm sorry, the prospect into a buyer. So it should also stretch the gap. In other words, shows them that you have the bigger roadmap for their journey already mapped out, and all they have to do is get on and do the work. And stretching the gap also builds that anticipation and the distance between where they are now and where they can be if they follow your lead and use your products and services. So it also shows them the next logical step to get continued help or improved results. So in other words, you stretch the gap by showing your map with somewhere in the context of this spear, and then you give them a clear call to action. In other words, this is what your prospect has to do next in order to get more help from you or to become a customer. Make it very clear. The transformations that your magnet will help, your spear, will turn your website landing pages from low or no conversions to high converting lead generation machines. Turn your ads from bland to irresistible, and will help convert skeptical prospects or unaware prospects into highly interested, attentive leads who want to hear what you have to say next. So the whole idea behind the spear is to create a highly targeted solution that will draw in the right types of prospects who are more highly qualified to become one of your clients. And if you look at the acronym SPEAR, these are kind of the guidelines to creating your spear. So it needs to call out a single person problem, pain, and solution. All right, it has to be singular. You're not trying to solve everything. You're trying to solve one thing that's of high value and do it quickly. The P for spear, it should be proper professional posture. In other words, it sets you up as a professional authority in your niche and creates that authority. It quickly ramps up your authority and creates that trust. E for easy. Easy to consume and exact, and so they can follow it on their own, and if they need more help they can reach you. That's the whole idea, is to create a simple, quick solution, so and then if they need continued help, then that's when they reach out for some kind of conversion event, which is basically either a phone call or a purchase or whatever that next step is. A in SPEAR is a single step to a bigger puzzle that you own, and that bigger puzzle is your prosperity plan that you created in the previous frameworks. So R is that it reveals the gap and piques their desire for the prospect to take the next logical step. So if you do this right, then the right people are going to want to take that next step, because they'll find out that your bigger solution, your prosperity plan, is the right fit for them, and if they can afford your solution, and if it's the right timing for them, then that person or those people will take the next step and purchase from you, whatever that conversion event is. The guiding metaphor is like having an automated viral spokesperson that works 24/7 to attract the right prospects to your business. It's very targeted. It will be at the front of your automated marketing funnel, and you may have to use several of these to segment or niche into micro niches or niches or problem solution buckets based on your niche. You may find 3 to 5 big buckets that everyone fits into. Your future clients, also known as prospects, are almost never in a one-size-fits-all category. So the better that your marketing funnel can segment them up front and serve them with specific solutions, the more likely that they will be to buy your products and solutions, because it'll be a perfect market fit. And so you usually start with one streamlined funnel. You find out what's being responded to in the market, and then you can branch out from there. But it's best to go through this process once first to get something that converts before you begin to fork it out and to branch out into segmentation. So you'll be much more quickly able to deploy other funnels and begin to segment your marketing prospects into their different stages or places of need based on your offerings and solutions. All right, and it's also supposed to paint that picture that you can lead them safely on their journey from A to B, which is the endpoints of your prosperity plan. So the overview and the steps of the framework. So basically decide based on your prosperity plan, which little solution are you going to offer. You're going to pull it right out of your prosperity plan that you created in the previous framework, in the message framework, message module. And you'll create a title that calls out that avatar, that prospect, with your promise, your timeline, and metrics if possible. You'll create a milestone, transformation, or benefits, not features. There's a big difference between features. You don't want to brag about the product or solution. You want to talk about the direct benefits that they're going to receive. They're going to transform from A to B. They're going to increase something they want without experiencing something they don't want within a certain timeline. And you can even add a case study quote or testimonial at the bottom to improve that, increase the social proof right on the cover. And you can create your outline and build the framework to solve a problem DIY or do-it-yourself style and deliver your promise. Then you just edit and finalize the format for download and ease of use and consumption. Then you can go to places like Upwork or Fiverr to have a designer create your cover based on our frameworks, based on your messaging, both for the ads and for the cover of your lead magnet or spear. So then you upload it to your website right after they opt in to be delivered after the authority video or the act video that we have an outline for you on the thank you page. So you go from an ad to an opt-in page, and that opt-in page features your spear, and that spear is to finally targeted to entice them to download or to opt in with their name and email or whatever contact information. So they enter into your automated marketing sequence, and in turn, for giving you their information, they get to download your spear and go through your video that basically overviews that spear, and we have a framework for that video as well to help you create a perfect video to amplify that authority and to improve your authority, connection, and trust with them very quickly. So case study, here's a quick case study. It's working with a client who spent months using basically paid list, I call it spam email, and other vague general offers of a roadmap to try to convert leads for consulting, and nothing really worked at all. When we identified the right client and got into the right niche and narrowed everything down using the rule of ones, we were able to dig into a niche market within his vast expertise over 30 years and really begin to get traction for a very specific person with a very specific challenges. And this is one of the examples that we created here that is working. So what format should you use? Before you choose your format, review the different models that your perfect marketing spear can be formatted in. It should have these following characteristics. This is a simple overview to help you understand that it should follow these. If it's too complex to consume, it's not going to have the effect that you want it to. It needs to be easy to consume. In other words, they can quickly go through it, within 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes, whatever that time frame is. It's got to be quick and effective. It needs to be easy to access. In other words, not difficult and jump through all kinds of hoops to get access to. It has to be of high value and quality. Digital and free is best because you can scale and automate without having to use up more time, resources, and treasure. It needs to have an automated delivery system, which we will create later, and we'll show you how to do that and when we build out the machine in the automate phase. And it will identify one specific prospect, solve one specific problem on a bigger path of their problems, and that's where 8 is. It shows them that bigger picture, that context, where it fits into your prosperity plan. That's what the context is. Also in the context of their bigger problems that they're having. Then it'll create that act with the video that we're going to show you how to build, and that's authority, connection, and trust, so that they can go from cold to warm and begin to move towards a buying decision. It will advance the sale. In other words, with a clear call to action, it's supposed to reduce friction and call them closer to being a client or customer. It'll stretch that gap, which is similar to number 8 there, and it'll have a clear call to action. You will clearly tell them what they need to do next after they go through this specific problem solution or this specific spear or magnet that you're producing. So here's an overview of spear style standards. And if you look at the green, yellow, and red circles, parts of the circle are pie chunks. Green is where you want to start, and this shows you which ones are easiest. They're highest in demand, they're easy on time for your prospect, and they're easy access. So we want something that's easy to consume, easy on their time, easy for them to access, and it's a high demand. In other words, it gives them a quality solution in a format that's easy to consume, and it quickly helps them get clarity or move closer to a solution. So those same steps that I listed above are right here on this mini framework. And if you look at the green section, it could be a fill-in template, a checklist, a cheat sheet, a document that helps them map out things or organize things, a framework or a PDF. Those are all in the very easy to create, easy to consume. An infographic guide is kind of in the middle on the top there in the yellow section. Webinar videos or a problem solution series. These are also high demand. They take a little bit more to create, but you can do a combination of a cheat sheet or a framework PDF problem solution kind of thing, and then give them a series of videos that walks them through each little piece of the puzzle and ramps them up and warms them up and brings them closer to taking that conversion step, which is to purchase something from you, make a phone call, whatever that is, to reach out for a more engaged prospect into customer or client. Then down here in the red is really, you kind of want to steer away from these unless you're in a highly technical field and it requires a lot of heavy lifting in order to sell someone who's an engineer or a technical person like a stock trader or something like that. Consultations, ebooks, tools, white papers, strategy session, technical guide. These things are all much more difficult to create, harder to consume, more costly, things like that. But again, in the right situation, in the right market, right niche, you might have to create a white paper. You might have to create a technical guide. In a lot of highly technical fields, a technical guide or a reference, a desk guide or a reference desk guide can be an incredibly valuable sales tool that once it's finished can create to thousands or millions of dollars worth of sales, depending on the field that you're in. So if you have to quickly launch, it's best to create something in the green section. And that's also easier to test messages and test the market before you put more time, effort, energy, money into a bigger production. Always test. Always try to test first through a paid funnel to target your prospects, to find out what messages and what combinations, what funnels are working before you dump a lot of money into all kinds of other ad sources. Digital is the best way to go, using digital ad platforms, because you can track everything and you can see in real time what's working, what's not. You can quickly, it's very liquid, you can quickly change and modify things and split test and get real results versus guesswork and dumping a lot of money into other conventional ad forms. So you also might find out that later on that a different lead magnet performs better than a simple PDF guide or something. But the PDF guide is a great way to test any kind of concept for lead magnet or sales process message, including a book. You can even test if you're going to use a book or write a book to be both a product and a sales tool. Then it's much smarter to create a very light version of the book that goes through the same concepts, but at a higher, more general view, like a 30,000 foot view. And you can create a 10, 15, 20 page PDF that goes through the same prosperity plan and test out different covers and messages of that smaller book or booklet before you go into the major production of creating a full-blown book. You can test the idea and tweak it until you get a perfect market fit, what we call a PMF, and do that before you put all the extra work in. So test it on a lighter budget, a lighter work load, a lighter version, and make sure that it fits before you put all that effort in and all that time and money. So then you can consider ramping up to other types of lead magnets, ideas such as a problem solution series. That's what a PS series is, of videos that solves problems in steps and makes it very clear and simple, maybe 3 to 5 steps. You can also and should create a webinar, which we have the outline for in the automate lane in the machine module. There's a whole outline and how to create a webinar and the flow of a webinar that sells and converts cold traffic to customers. And that's a great way to fine-tune your own presentation as well and test it. And it'll help you create an automated way to weed out tire kickers or those who are just not ready to buy your solutions yet. So basically I have two choices. You can continue with ineffective landing pages and low or no conversions and little leads, with a confusing website, with too much information and no real direction. Or you can build an awesome spear or a few of them that will convert highly, will ramp up your leads and establish you as an authority that they want to know, like, and trust. And you always want to be testing. You always want to create at least 2 versions, 2 headlines, and test to find out which ones work better. A/B testing or split testing is the best way to create an ROI positive funnel and to scale and grow a business in the digital age. So what's next? Go ahead and use this framework to build your irresistible spear based on a small problem and solution that you're going to solve right out of your prosperity plan. And this will help you turn your ads and landing pages from worthless to real workhorses, converting cold traffic to highly engaged prospects in an automated funnel. So go for it. And then in the next framework, we're going to show you how to create the high converting spear cover, because in this world, in the marketing age, in the digital marketing age, people do judge a book by its cover. Even though we're told not to, they do it all the time. And if the cover isn't right, it won't convert. So we'll show you how to do that in the next module. Good luck, and if you need any help, reach out to us and we're here to help if we can.